Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
It's William and Andrew here at Allegory Gallery, and we are right now at Star Cottage Studios. Oh, Star Cottage Studio. And we are going to show you some amazing, wonderful African things today. So hopefully you like African if you're hanging out with us today. And if you do like African beads and African things, you're going to really love today's show.
Got some good prices, y'all.
We've got some really good prices. Andrew nabbed some deals on some of this. Some of this is very old, very, very old. Some of it is old to us. Some of it is old to the entire world.
Some of it's from my private collection.
Some of it is from his private collection that he's decided to let go of at some really good pricing.
I don't think we've ever had any of these in the store.
No, none of this stuff that we're showing you tonight has ever been shown on our videos. None of it has ever been shown in the store. These are all private stash things.
You said it like that Tina Turner song, Private Dancer.
Private dancer, right? These are private stash.
William will dance for money for you and do what you want him to do.
I will show you beads for money, y'all.
Oh.
Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Norma. Suzanne says, "You're talking my love language. These are good things."
Dancer.
Let's see. Donna is here. Hello, Donna. Hello, Danette. So, like I said, these are not your like typical, 50 cent, 25 cent African beads that we sometimes have. These are not your typical $12 strands that we sometimes have. These are exceptional prices for what we could be charging. And we have referenced these against other African bead sellers. So
you're getting a good deal today.
You are getting a very good deal today. There are no extra discounts on these. These are discounted as much as we can.
It hurts me a little bit.
Yeah. We're going to have some strands tonight. We're going to have a lot of loose beads. We have combined beads into lots. Generally color coordinated or pattern coordinated in some fun ways to cut down those prices for you, because some of these strands that we have cut down could have been $200, $300, $400 strands, and we just thought that that's probably not what most of you want. And if you do want them, then you can just buy a lot of the little lots and you'll have the strand. But yes.
And you'll still have a deal.
You'll still have a deal.
You'll still put this in your pocket.
Ooh, what is, that's my blue chalcedony. I haven't been carrying it around. Is it that time officially?
I think so.
Cheryl says, this is going to be a fun show.
I hope.
I think so. We also have some cultural items. We have some little purses or coin purses from Africa.
We bought these to put in the store, and then we just never did it.
They never made their way there, and they didn't have really the space for them, or the room, or the time.
And then by the time we kind of did, then we decided that we're not going to have that kind of stuff in the news store.
Yeah. So please share this video with your friends who may be into African beads. We have a lot of people here. Some people are saying they're too broke for the show. So please share it with your friends who may not be and who may want to grab these goodies, because this is not a show that comes around very often at prices like this. Let's just say that. We could easily, to people who are collectors of African glass, we could easily sell this by the strand for high dollar. But we wanted to offer it to you because these are kind of things that you may not get to see at this age. Outside of a museum, at this age, for these prices, in these quantities. Because some of these, normally you do buy them by the strand if you see them anymore. So hopefully you like this. And just keep in mind, like I said, these have traveled the world probably many times over, and they are old. So they're not going to look like your brand new, clean, you know, African sandblasted or sand casted glass that you're going to see. These have age to them, and they have, you know, history to them.
And that's what makes them special, I think.
Yes. Yes. Danette's very anxious to see the beads. Suzanne says it'll be a treat just to see these. Yes, share with your friends who like a treat. I think you're going to like these beads tonight. And other things. We have some earrings. We have some we have some strands. I won't say necklaces. We do have a necklace actually. But yeah, so hopefully you like this. Hello, Amanda. Thanks for joining in. So let's back up a little bit now that we've talked about what we're going to see today, and let's check in on you all. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing well. If you missed yesterday's live, we had some miscellaneous lots, and many of those miscellaneous lots were luxury bead blends. So I know a lot of you out there love the luxury bead blends. And we've kind of hit a pause on putting new ones out. We put a bunch of them out and then we've paused. So we found some that got removed from the online store and they were just sitting around. So we we're going to put them back in, but first we offered them to you all. So if you want to grab those, we put them at the low price of only $9 a bag instead of 10 to 12 to 14. And so there are still some of them left. I do have some emails for people that I got to tally up yet and get back to because I didn't check my email till late today when we were preparing for this show. So if you want to check those out, please do. I showed some strands of vintage Czech glass that I don't think we've ever shown before. So some of those are still available. And we showed copper covered vintage plastic. What's the word for that? Electroplated. And so if you want to see those, check that out. If you want to grab some of those, beautiful copper color, beautiful, you know, these are things that are kind of made of metal. They have that metal look because they are completely coated in a nice thick coating of copper that will change over time, and you can play around with it if you want to with different patinas and whatnot. But also they're super light. So if you want to patina them and make them into some really cool earrings or some bracelet stuff or necklaces or use them as sculptural items, you can do that. Lots of different ways you could play with those. So check that video out if you missed those. Suzanne says those copper items, heart. It's true. I love them. I don't know why they're not like completely sold out anytime I show them, because they give you that little glint in your eye. It's just so nice. I like zoom in on them.
Windy.
It is very windy outside. If you hear the wind chimes are going nuts out there, and you can hear the building. You can hear the wind against the building.
We need to do fundraiser. Buy some paint for the outside. It's gonna need more than paint. We're gonna have to do this cladding on the outside. I think we could get everything done for about $11,000.
Yeah,
maybe cheaper.
We have nowhere near that right now.
We have about $10 and a couple of cats.
Right. Suzanne had a doctor visit. All is okay. Good. We like to hear that. Donna's doing well. My studio looks so much better, and I'm in the process of getting ready for a big show coming up in under a month. Nice.
Exciting.
Nice. That's exciting. I don't know why I saw lunch in your... Somewhere in there, those words came together in my mind. It said lunch.
Are you hungry?
I must be. We just had, well, not just, but we had Subway today, which we haven't had in a long time.
Because it's not around the corner anymore.
No, it used to be around the corner. I could pick it up pretty quick. And we're not around the corner anymore, so we don't go down that way as much. But Andrew had a a hankering for Subway. So we got the Veggie Delight fully loaded. And that was actually really filling. I'm full from that still.
Hit the spot.
But I could still go for more. I could always eat more, pretty much.
You are a snacker.
I'm a snacker.
And I'm not necessarily a snacker unless I'm with you.
And then you snack.
Because like when I'm by myself, I do snack, but I don't eat as much.
Yeah. I would, if I had somebody that prepared me meals, if we had like a personal chef, I would rather eat like 10 little times a day than
Well, don't
have
look
to.
over here.
He's like, I'm not doing that.
You get
No.
1 time a day.
I know.
and be
But
happy
I'm one of those
for it.
people that I would love to eat many little meals a day because I eat out of like kind of nervousness sometimes. So, and my anxiety is part of that, I think. And so I'll sit down and eat just to do something.
Your mouth feels lonely.
Yes, it's that kind of thing.
My
And
mouth oftentimes feels lonely,
it,
especially for crunchy things.
crunchy things. Yeah, so I'm one of those people, but we eat like once a day. But I am a snacker, so sometimes during the day I stop for like a Snickers or a little bag of like a tiny bag, those little bags of potato chips or something like that. Because I have realized as I get older, I can't go I used to younger all day, never eat, never worry about it, drink all the coffee, all the Mountain Dew possible, and then at the end of the day have a great big meal and be fine.
And then go out.
And then go out. Now
And then be fine.
I get crankhole if I do not eat little meals every once in a while. So
I'm
gotta
still delightful no matter what.
Andrew's delightful
All the time.
all the time.
One of the things, okay, here's my plug for craft school. All right, if you get a chance to take a workshop at a craft school, one of the things that, this is not for all craft schools, obviously, and also it depends on your budget. And, I've been to things where I've had to pack my own lunch. But anyways, if you can do it, get a meal package because it's so nice not to have to worry.
Not to ever have to worry, ever have to leave.
You just get up, you go and you have your breakfast.
You have your leisurely breakfast.
Meet some friends.
Chat with people. Go to your class.
What you making? What you doing today? You liking it? You look tired.
Now, for
I'm
somebody who
tired.
has social anxiety like me, that's a little bit hard. You got to find. It's like high school, finding the group all over again.
You know what? I'm like that too, to a degree. But when I go to the craft school, I'm like Mr. Popularity. I was like, I like your necklace.
Yeah, Andrew.
It's
good to follow. I follow but if I'm there with Andrew, he looks at me like, who are we gonna sit with? I'm like, you do this all the time. Go sit with someone, make friends, so I can sit somewhere. But yeah, if he's with me, for some reason he gets shy. And then I hear all these fabulous adventures he has.
When I'm by myself.
When you're by yourself and all these discussions he has and all these. But when he's with me, we stand on the wall and find the 2 seats beside no one.
Wow. Oh, well, there you go.
I don't know why.
That means I should go more by myself.
Let's see, I knew that was coming too.
But I got some good news. I won a scholarship.
He did. He got another one.
I'm on a roll, y'all.
Lost a few and got a few. Well,
correct. I lost a bunch of stuff, but I also got a lot of stuff. So I'm on a roll, y'all.
Let's see. Danette says, my day wasn't too bad. Got the house all smoky. Baked cauliflower in the oven and left it in too long. Had the windows open a little and the fans on. At least it was a nice day, or a fairly nice day, right? To have the windows open.
It was not nice. It was raining.
No, it wasn't raining at the first part of the day. It was just when you left the house, it was raining. All day before that, it was gray, but it was not. It was the same temperature as yesterday, but the sun wasn't out, and it felt 10 degrees colder than yesterday. But it was not too bad, at least. But yeah, it's easy to leave things in the oven, right? You just get doing stuff. You forget.
I have the virtual assistant remind me.
Yeah. If that timer, if you think it set a timer though, and it didn't,
then you gotta have faith.
Yeah.
You're cooking by love.
That's right. Let's see here.
We should do that, by the way, because we got a cauliflower that needs a dressing.
Yes, we do. And broccoli too. Suzanne says, can I use Ren wax? I'm guessing on the copper stuff she means.
Sure.
Yes.
You can use Renaissance almost on your face.
On everything.
No, don't
Go
use it on
wild.
your
No,
face.
no.
It's petroleum based, so I would not recommend that. But the British Museum uses it on restoring all kinds of stuff.
Let's see who's with us. The family Lucas is over there on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. Not Cursed Art is over there.
Oh, Charlie.
Hello, hello. And Jen is over there on her JNT Creations. Not the new one. Where's the Giggly Gypsy?
You want to come? Well, no. Never mind. I was going to invite you to come over.
You're always inviting, and it's like, we got stuff to do right now.
I know.
We'd love to see you again.
It's
But
jam-packed to the ceiling.
right now is not the time.
I know. You're not going to have the delightful experience.
Okay, Karen's saying, so you don't claim in the video, but you take down the number, email the number to you. Is it best to leave the live and email quickly or wait till after the show? Okay, so we'll get to all that before we do the show, but let me answer that real quick since you asked. Yes, you send us an email. You do not claim in the comments because we broadcast in about 8 different places. And while the show's running, while we're live, technically that wouldn't be terrible if there were both of us here and we could jot down who won what.
It's still hard.
It's still difficult, but if somebody's watching a rewatch, Facebook, YouTube, all those comments, they don't put them in the right order. They don't timestamp them the right way. They might say 7 hours ago, and 7 hours is 60 minutes. So who knows in that, if 2 people claim, who knows who got it?
I get notifications from 4 days ago today.
I know. And so if you're watching yesterday's video and you were claiming right now, but so is someone else for that one item we had, I wouldn't know who was first. So that's why we say send an email. And that way the emails are timestamped. They come into the inbox one right after the other. It tells me who was first. I don't have to try and guess. So that way, because our things are often vintage, antique, hard to find. We have a lot of modern stuff too. That's mostly on the website and stuff. But a lot of our shows, vintage stuff, hard to find. There isn't a lot of it. So it sells out sometimes really quickly. So
that's up to you.
So the timing of when you send them, you can pop out of the show or you can wait till the end. Here's what I would recommend. If you claim it and you get it, we're going to ask you to pay for it. All right. So if you see 8 things tonight that you want, but you can afford 4 of them, either narrow it down to those 4 and hope you get them all. Or you can send us all 8 at the very end.
But you're responsible.
But you're responsible. So somebody may have claimed them. Most of our people do pop out and do the emails as the show goes on. So
sometimes a lot of our people will have their phone going and watch on their computer.
Yeah, watch on a computer, watch on the TV, and have their phone for emailing or their tablet for emailing. If you have multiple devices, not everyone does, we know.
Or you have different windows open.
Yeah. So it comes to the idea that if you do it during the show, you're more likely to possibly get the lot you want. It's more possible because most of our people are doing it right then. If you wait until the end, and you send us a list of things that you want, many of them may have already sold out. But if that's your plan, then sometimes that's the way that works out too. But again, anytime you claim, if you make a claim, we're going to ask you to pay for it. If you make a claim and we send you an invoice for everything you've claimed, because let's say great things happen and you get everything you wanted, and you're like, oh, I only wanted 2 of those 10 things. That's all I can afford. We're going to warn you. And then if you do it again, we're going to boot you out. And we're not going to take invoicing from you. That's just the way that works. Because it messes up the whole thing.
He has a spreadsheet.
I do a spreadsheet.
And then that means he has to redo the spreadsheet.
So let's say you got those 10 things, but then somebody after you wanted those same things. And I already told them, no, you don't get them. But they got one thing and I invoiced them and they're done. Or they think they're done. And then you say, oh, I only wanted 2 of those 10 things. Then there's 8 things that I could go back to that other person and be like, oh, oops, maybe you still want these because somebody, and I have to say, somebody turned them down. And then they're like, I didn't know you could turn them down. And then that creates a whole issue because you can't turn them down. All right, so
Can of worms, yo.
it's a big can of worms, and we don't open that can. We don't
No.
open that can.
Also,
So-
make sure you send an individual.
So that means we lose money.
An individual email.
And things don't get sold or passed on that could. So it's all up to you when you want to send them. But most people send them during the show as things. So if they see these are going to be AF lots, AF1, you want AF1, you send us an email quick for AF1. I will, all of these, almost all of these tonight. There's only one of each lot. And I will try and watch our email and let you know if things are sold out as we go. So if you send in an email for that and you hear me say AF1 sold out, you can kind of mentally tabulate that maybe you got that one and you put that down as a price that you're paying. Maybe you didn't get it, someone else could have gotten it, but that helps you kind of keep track. But we do not tell anybody who got what during the live. We never say, oh, this person got this. And a lot of people have asked us to do that because then you know what you're spending, but also the whole world knows what you're spending and the whole world knows who you are. And a lot of people don't want that. So we never say who got what until we send you the invoice. All right.
And when you send it, your email, don't reply.
Oh, yes. So that's another thing. We may as well do it all now. When you send us your email, do not reply to your previous sent emails to send us another one. It's very tempting because info@allegorygallery.com is long. I know. And that saves you from doing it. But you must send us a brand new email each time. My email inbox collates everything. And if you send us a reply to your first email, you know what happens? After the third or fourth or fifth, everyone keeps jumping to the top of my email box like it's a new email. And you have 10 of them collated underneath that. I've missed every one until I get to the top. And I'm not going back through my spreadsheet to see if you won. You lost. So I hate to be that blunt, but that's the way it works. So send us a new email every time. So that hopefully is everything, I think. And I'll put the little banner across the bottom when we're ready to get ready with the show too. Jen is saying, hey there, peeps. She says, I'm on my way over, Andrew. What's for dinner? Charlie says, I'd love to visit when it's a better time. We'd love to have you too.
Yeah, it'll be crafting palooza.
Jen says, yeah, don't wait. You'll miss out. And some people plan it that way. They send me a whole list at the end, assuming they might miss out on some. You never know, though. Maybe we have a bunch of people watching who don't want African beads tonight. Then you might get them all, and you're not ready for that. So the best thing to do, mentally plan. We'll try and let you know if things are selling out as we go, as long as I can keep track of stuff. That's the way it is. We never know from day to day. Some sales, we almost have no sales. Sometimes we barely sell anything. Sometimes we sell. I hate that day too. Some days we sell pretty much everything. So it's hard to tell. It's hard for us to know. We don't know. We don't know until the end of the show. Marianne says, email as we go, Karen, if it's something you really, really want. Danette says an email separately each time. Thank you so much. See, everybody's letting you know. She says, got it. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Hello, Sandra. Thank you for joining us.
Did your house go through?
Yeah, how's the house? How's the house purchase going? Suzanne says, we got our cats a new scratching post. I almost did that the other day too because ours need it. We need to put
doing the furniture.
We need to keep, yeah, we're definitely not buying new furniture until like adulthood in these cats.
We're not.
And then we need to put a scratching post at the corner of every single couch and chair and table and everything.
You know, I don't know what to do because now the big cats are starting to use.
They are starting to scratch the furniture, and they never did that before.
It's because the little ones.
And climb up me. Gertie started like climbing me, and now Barnaby as a baby, and now Barnaby thinks it's okay to just scratch up my leg.
He
never did that. Never, ever, ever. So
he's like, I'm learning and growing, Daddy.
Yeah, yeah. Danette says if there are multiple lots and you want 3, put ML222 times 3. Exactly. So we don't have many tonight that are going to have multiples. I think there's only 1 lot tonight that has multiples. We've cut everything into separate lots for y'all. We have 50 lots tonight. But that 1 lot, for example, if it's AF45, And you want 2 of them, AF45 times 2 in the subject line. So all of your claiming goes right in the subject line. Just put the lot number in the subject line, address it to info@allegorygallery.com. If you copy info@allegorygallery.com, Command C or Control C, then you can just paste it in each one. Makes it quick.
It sounds hard, but it really
No, it's not. We go through all this because these are all the things that have happened in the past. We have to cover them. But it's really just opening an email, info@allegorygallery.com, put the lot number in the subject line, hit send, and that's your chance to get it.
And if you add us to the address book, it goes even faster.
Yeah, you can put us in your address book, and then you start typing the name, and it already pops up, depending on how many I's you got in your address book.
It sounds harder than it is, but really it's not.
Yeah. Marianne says grazing is the best way to eat. It is, technically. That's what they say. I don't always graze on good things, though. That's the other thing.
I like it at the craft schools when they have it ready.
Yeah, like a personal chef.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if you had a personal chef here.
That would shave hours off my day.
Right? Personal chef just brought you meals to the cottage as you're working. Here's your food. Then you get back to work. Nighttime comes, come home. The food's ready.
And I want to get a picnic table. And then you can have a picnic table here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because now
Didn't we have a picnic table at one point? I feel like we had, no.
We just keep talking about it.
Lennis is here. Hello, Lennis. And we do chat a lot. If you're new, we chat a lot at the beginning because we want to talk to you, get to know you. If we don't know you, catch up with what you're doing. If we do know you, and it lets people filter in. Some people filter back out, and that's okay too.
I'd rather get to know you all.
Right? We'd rather know you than just like try and sell stuff at you. Right?
This is like the sharing time. Like
Yeah.
we're sharing our stuff and
yeah, because these are Andrew's things for the most part. Like there's some we were going to put in the store anyway, but most of these beads are Andrew's things. You are getting a piece of him with each one of these. Hello, Brooke. Thanks for joining us today.
I didn't like mark it with my effluvia or anything.
Sandra says, did you hear the news about the Baltimore Bridge?
That I fell down?
I didn't hear that at all, but Andrew did apparently. Says it'll be devastating to supply chain for people who work in Baltimore.
Is that the one that you were just on?
I don't know. I did not hear about it at all, so I don't know.
There's a bridge. It fell down.
That's no good. Bridges shouldn't fall down.
They happen here in Pittsburgh all the time.
the whole roads fall down. I don't know how the roads fall down, but the roads fall down.
There was a bridge. It just went down the mountain.
Yep. Bus sunk down the hole.
Out which time?
I know. It happened more than once.
I mean, we are in an area that is of the shifting.
Yes. We're in the mountains area. Donna says, I eat 3 meals a day, small breakfast unless I need extra protein, small lunch, and halfway decent dinner. It's just me, so I can't cook something different every single night. We eat a lot of leftovers because Andrew mixes and matches and turns things into other wonderful things. So we kind of eat leftovers, but we don't eat leftovers.
I remake it. It's a remix.
Brooke says, congrats on the scholarship.
Thanks.
Hello, Susie. Susie is with us.
Did I say which one I'm going to?
No, I don't think you did.
I'm going to Peters Valley, y'all.
Peters Valley.
I don't know what so I applied to a lot of stuff. So I don't remember what I actually applied for.
But you got it.
But I got it. I'm super excited about it. I got rejected
Susan.
last year. I got in this year.
There you go. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Marion says, when I saw the headlines, I wonder how it could have collapsed. Made more sense when they mentioned the ship. Oh, there was a ship.
Oh. You know, the bridges infrastructure nowadays has been neglected for so long.
It's true.
And that a lot of stuff is just patch to patch it. It's not like a full overhaul.
No.
So there's places like is it Philadelphia or is it Washington, D.C., where they still have wood pipes from like 1700s.
I didn't hear about that, but I believe it.
They have like the first.
The first piping system.
They have the first sewage system.
Sanders said they said it could be a year and a half until the bridge is rebuilt. The port is closed. I bet a bridge is not a easy thing to build.
And we were talking about going to Baltimore.
I know. I don't know how
because I got into the Baltimore show.
that. We're gonna have to take a different way.
So I dropped a piece. I don't know if they're. I
mm,
have to fix it. Maybe see if
Yeah,
I can
you
fix
did.
it.
Donna says I lived in Tampa when the barge hit the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in 1980. It was horrible. Let's see here. Yes, Marion says hard times for some people. It's going to be. It's going to be. Yeah. Let's see. The idea of bridges falling is very sad and scary, says Susan. Yes, it is. Karen says, LOL, I would never claim and not pay, but I bet it happens. It does happen.
Not as much.
Not as much. Not
Most
as much.
of our people are pretty. They
But
understand that we're a small business.
Yeah, we don't function like Amazon where you can just buy and return.
Have
No,
endless
and
returns.
Yeah,
and
we can't handle that.
non-payments.
Non-payments, yeah, that's not what we can do. So
I
you're
think
buying from a small business, and most people are very small business friendly who shop with us. Every once in a while, it's mostly a new person, so we try and stress that all the time, that if you are claiming, you are promising to buy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Reciprocity.
Right. Don't claim if you don't want it. That's all.
But also, I think it's like you're putting energy out in the form of whatever currency support, however, we're sending you something back. And it's like a cycle. And then you make something and you put that out in the world and somebody else sees it and likes it.
Yeah.
It's a whole chain.
That's what all this is about. Sending that good energy around, back and forth, side to side, right? Barnaby is having a second kittenhood, says Amanda. He kind of is. He's been running around with the little ones.
Boy, he's soft.
He is super soft. He's in a good mood. He's not been coughing as much. The last day or two, not today, the day before, I think the kind of weather change has made him cough a little bit more. Oh, excuse me. But he's been pretty good. He's been very good, actually. And he has been running around like a little kitten a lot. He's running up and down the stairs with the little ones, running in the living room back and forth, chasing them or them chasing him. He's been a good big brother, though. He cleans them sometimes and, keeps an eye on them. But when it gets to the end of the day, sometimes he's had enough. And Gilbert has definitely most times had enough by the end of the day.
I don't know. He's like Lady Macbeth doth protest too much sometimes, because sometimes like they're completely minding their own business and he happens to sit next to them.
Gilbert?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He sometimes creates his own drama.
Uh-huh.
Mr.
I was like,
Gilbert.
what you doing?
They're,
Go sit on the other side of the room.
They're not bothering him at all, so he comes and sits by them and starts growling at them. And I'm like, that was all you, buddy. That was all you, mister. You're not fooling anyone.
Uh-huh.
Sandra says, I finished uploading all the paperwork for the house. Now waiting. The waiting game, right? Lena says, yep, had to cover all the couches with blankets and put scratch pads at the end of the couches to stop naughtiness.
I think also our couches are so disasperated.
We didn't even try to care. We really...
Like at first, I was like, don't scratch it. And then now I'm like, well,
they're going to do it. I mean, they super need to be replaced. These are the one couch I've had for, wow, how long have we been together? 16? So probably 19 years, maybe more.
It's ready.
And it was meant, I bought it at Pier 1. And it was a specialized size couch. It was from the show floor. I didn't have it specially made, but it fit in a very specific part of my apartment. And I wanted it in there. And so I had bought it because it fit in that space. And I've had it well, we've had it now. It's probably been 19 to 20 years. And the other couch came with our house.
They
So
were like, "You want to get rid of this?" I was like, "No."
no, because we only had one couch. And so we're like, no, we'll keep it for a little while. Well, now we've kept it for.
Well, in the apartment, we had a futon, but that was in the apartment, so we left that when we.
Yeah, the when we were living in the apartment that we rented from my aunt, that was a futon, which was the couch. But that futon was in my grandparents' house probably since 1980. Like that futon was where, as kids, we would sleep if we were camping out instead of sleeping in the bedroom. So that futon was old. It was
The first
in
futon.
very good shape, but it was like the first futon ever. Yeah, it was like
It's one of the ones, if you drop that on your foot, you'd be crying.
it was like solid wood frame and like,
And, like,
a
thick
woven,
wood.
yeah, thick wood, real wood, a woven like.
This is not no IKEA.
No, it was a woven cushion thing with real springs. Like you could, by the end, you could see the springs. Like they were like real springs. None of this foam padding inside and all that. These were springs.
Astronaut foam.
Yeah, and you had to pick up the bottom and then lay it down for the back side to come down. So that we didn't move because it wasn't ours, for one, and two, that was heavy. And so we only had one couch when we moved into the house, and they're like, "This was my mom's couch. Do you want it?" And we're like, "It kind of goes with our other couch." Sure. So we kept it, and now it's wearing out too. So.
Well, we use them.
We use them a lot.
So it's not
Like we're those people. We don't eat at the dining room table. We eat on the couch. So
I can't even remember the last time we've eaten at the table.
when we had company, that's the only time we eat at the dining room table. And even then, if it's family, we all eat in the living room.
Even if it's not family, it's like in this house we eat.
We eat on the couch. Yeah. So.
Just don't spill.
Right. Smokey kept sitting on my husband Richard's bum knee. Oh, ouch, she says. Yeah, that's no good. Let's see. Anne has joined us. Hello, Anne. Let's see. Who else is here? Anybody? I know I'm far back in the comments, and I'm trying to look at everybody. Jean Bram has joined us on Instagram. Catch Your Dream Co. joined us. Dion Michelle joined us. Thank you all for joining us. We're doing our chit chat portion of the show. We do this almost pretty much every weekday, and we chat with you for about an hour before the actual live sale starts. Allows people to filter in, allows us to get to know one another and kind of mingle here a little bit. And we will read off comments as we're doing, since y'all can't see each other's comments unless you're on that service. We stream at about 8 different locations. So if you're on YouTube, you'll be seeing the YouTube comments. If you're on our Facebook page, you'll see our Facebook page comments. If you're in our Facebook group, you'll see the group comments. We'll tell you most of them as we go through if they have things to say. So if you have something to say, please say it. Say hi in the comments. We love to meet new people. Cheryl says, I have Andrew scattered all over my desk at the moment. What you working on? Susan started a new necklace today. And a bracelet with beads discarded from previous projects. That's good, right? It's good to, when you have those. We have kind of a box here now that I'm collecting of beads from other projects that we haven't used. So we're making kind of a mishmash box so that anytime we need a bead or we're sitting here making a project or doing something, we can say, wonder if there's something in here we could use. Let's see. Susan says, congrats on the scholarship, Andrew. Suzanne says, our pipes are over 100 years old. I don't know how old our pipes would be at the house. I don't know how old our house is. Let's see. Apparently it was a big ship that hit the bridge head on. That's no good. Amanda says there's a train bridge near the city center that's a bit low. Trucks continually get stuck under it despite highly visible signage. I wonder how much more damage it can take. Wow. Suzanne says our sewerage pipe's not our house. Yeah. I don't know when any infrastructure in our town. Some of it's patch repaired. I don't know when.
It should be amazing how many times they pulled up the street.
I know.
I remember when we have the shop, we moved the store, and it's like, finally, we're finally gonna have. It's gonna finally happen.
We're on the right side of town. We're gonna do it.
We finally have the right spot. We're gonna do it. And then, like the next day, they're like, "Oh, guess what?
Closing your
year-long construction project." I remember when we first moved in, they did a construction project on East Main Street. Then we moved to West Main Street, and then they're like, "Oh, guess what? It's continuing on to West Main Street."
Good times, y'all. Good times. Suzanne says, one time I claimed something by accident, but I still bought it. Well, thank you. But if you ever make an accident.
Hopefully you liked it.
Yeah. If you ever make a true accident.
Your lucky bead.
And yeah, hopefully use it as a lucky bead, right? It's an extra.
It wanted you. It called to
you. But if you are, especially if you are a long-time customer and you make a mistake, let me know. Let's see here.
Yeah, we'll work with our people. We don't want to bankrupt y'all.
No, that's not the point. We don't want you to have things you don't actually want. That's the whole point of this show, is to show you things that hopefully you want and show them to you in a way that you can actually see them to make sure you want them. That's the point. Boy, my hair is crazy today. That's why I'm trying to fix it. Denise says, I have a chair in the living room that is a designated scratching post. It's good, right? You gotta do it. You gotta do it, because otherwise they're gonna scratch something.
How do they know though?
Shoo them over that, throw them in that chair every time, right? You're gonna scratch, do that one. Hello, Michelle. Michelle has joined us. Welcome, welcome. I don't know how far back I am in comments, so I'm pushing ahead a little bit. Oh no, Michelle's son has been sick with a virus infection. Finally went to the ER Friday.
That's scary.
That's very scary.
Hopefully he's doing okay.
Yeah, hopefully he's getting better. She says she's been busy helping him get better, so won't be around until he is well. That's okay. Get him well. That's the main thing. Marion says, no kitchen table, so I eat in my bedroom since that's where the blank is. Maybe the TV? Maybe. Yeah, that's okay too, right? Nothing wrong with that. When I was in an apartment in New York, most of the time I probably ate in my bedroom, because that's where I had a desk and that's where I didn't have to be with anybody else that I lived with or roomed with.
Yeah, now we don't eat in the bedroom.
No, we do not. Sometimes I snack in the bedroom.
I don't like it.
But it's rare. It's rare. It's only when he pushes, generally it's when he pushes me out of the other room where the other TV is and makes me watch TV upstairs. Because we do have one in the bedroom, but it rarely gets turned on, because we don't really watch before bed much. But if I'm not ready for sleep and he's like, I need the living room to do work and I need to listen to my book,
I say, bye-bye now.
Yeah, that's his way of, he's like, bye-bye now.
Time to go.
So then I go upstairs, and if I'm still hungry, then I'll snack. Let's see. Yep, TV. I must be catching up. Does Andrew have scissors handy? Asks Amanda. Why?
Why? What happened?
Michelle.
Oh, for your hair.
Oh, my hair.
I do actually.
He's like, let's do the live haircut. I meant to stop down too and talk to my stylist today to book an appointment, and then I got busy. Andrew sent me on the lunch mission, and that distracted me for the afternoon.
Because you didn't just go get lunch, you went and picked up stuff at the store.
I went to the store as well and ran some errands. Yeah, so it took up more time than I thought, and I wasn't even expecting it. Normally he doesn't ask for lunch. Normally he just goes to bed, which means he didn't sleep much today.
No, I feel like I'm a little
He's a
bit.
little shaky over there.
I know. I was in a meeting and I was like, kind of like, there's a tremble in my voice. I bet they thought I was like scared or something to talk. It's like, no, it's just pure exhaustion.
Pure exhaustion. Yeah, he was up all day, all night.
All right, I'm gonna tell it.
Uh-oh.
I figured it out.
What?
Okay, so I figured out that pendant, y'all. Don't erase all that stuff that I showed you before, because
Don't follow any of those previous videos when you get
those
your
are
kit.
good if you're doing something similar but different. This doesn't like those.
Where is that
techniques
pendant? What are we
in the
talking about?
box.
What are we talking about here? Y'all, it took him a long time, a number of trial and errors to figure out this pendant design again, because he had it figured and then he didn't. Amanda says, I watched the replay and thought it would be funny to have Andrew cut your hair on a live YouTube. Yeah, how many viewers could we get
I'll do it.
if we cut my
Well,
hair?
But didn't they have like a fundraiser?
But
where
see,
they,
here's the thing.
they shaved the principal's head for and they got like $10,000.
I was going to say, here's the thing. There has to be money attached. If I'm going to have my hair cut live by Andrew, there has to be some kind of compensation. This can't just be for views, y'all. This can't be for views.
You're not gonna get paid in exposure.
No, I'm not getting paid in exposure for this. Here it is, everybody. Look, it came together.
And it's the way I thought I should do it the first time. And it was the first time. I still haven't found the first one. But for some reason, it was a challenge. I did this so many different ways to make it so it's nice and tight and wouldn't come loose. And I was getting it where it was too tight, it was too big, and if it's too big, it's kind of like it won't. You just have to get it just right. And so I took notes while I was doing
Wow,
it,
you were doing it.
just in case I got the brain amnesia again.
Which, you know, it happens.
Well, sometimes I did it so many different times I couldn't remember the right way to do it. And that's the thing is like with the seed bead stitching, sometimes you know too much and then you forget.
Lena says, what a difference a decade makes. We used to offer money for table dancing and now it's haircuts.
Something.
Donna says, Andrew, that pendant is so fabulous.
If you want one to dance on a table, we'll dance on a table.
There's a video of that, by the way, already. Andrew took a video of me dancing on a table.
Which one?
I know, right?
Because I built a table, so I wanted to make sure it was sturdy.
So I had to do the jig on the table.
Now he's not allowed up on the table unless he wears a helmet.
Right.
Because we got insurance, but I don't know how it's good insurance.
Not good enough for me to be disabled with my brain. The rest of Amy, hello Amy, says Throwback Thursday to pandemic times and home haircuts, right? Maybe not. Anne says, sell the pendant, Andrew. I love it.
The pendant is for sale.
This whole thing.
Oh, it's already done?
It's already done.
No, y'all.
He's like, you got to buy the kit, and then he's going to show you how to do it again.
Correct.
So buy the kit.
It's not hard. It's not hard. You just have to follow these precise...
So maybe, since he's done it a number of times, maybe what we should do is say, buy the kit now, we'll ship them out, and we'll set the make date in the future so people can sit down with it and maybe make it with you.
Maybe
we'll
but
do it that way.
Or
at least start it with
like
you.
It's one of those things that it takes like an hour and a half, and it's kind of boring. So like that's the thing about these things. Sometimes on the live, when you're showing seed bead stuff, it's not that exciting. It's kind of like watch the grass grow, one bead at a time.
so maybe not. Maybe he'll just do a recorded video and we'll post it up.
Or I'll just show you a video and then maybe do the step outs. and then that way you can see it. And I might tweak it again. I'll try it one more time, but I'm not cutting this one up. This is done.
That's done. One done. One done.
It doesn't take that long in comparison.
So you can
Right.
buy this kit, which comes with the wooden cabochon, the double-sided wooden cabochon. It comes with the 2 different color seed beads there, the Mayukis, then the gold seed beads there. And then it also comes with sequins, vintage sequins. So
you can use those if you want.
you can use them if you want. Andrew did not in the basic one, but you can use them if you want to embellish even more. So you'll get that kit. That's, I think, $18 in the online store. There aren't many of them, and some have already sold. So if you go into this is in the Noble Creatures collection in our online store. It's part of the Noble Creatures collection. So if you go there, you'll see it. I don't know if it's under wooden pendants, actually. I don't know if I tagged it right for that. So go under the Noble Creatures collection and get it there. You can also get the cabochon or a pendant. It has a hole at the top separately if you don't want the whole kit and you don't want to do the seed beaded stuff. You just want the pendant itself, which I don't have one here to show you what that looks like, but it's just like our wooden pendants.
The dye sublimated.
The dye sublimated pendants. All right. Mary says, just follow the right set of directions. Yes.
I know. You're going to have to listen close. Because not only did those ones get the wrong, but then the sound kept cutting out, and I think my blood pressure was going up. Because it kept, like, every time I would
connecting
talk,
to my...
every time I talk, then I get cut off.
He was using my phone. So my phone, if you don't know, Apple's ecosystem is amazing when you're using it for yourself. So I have the Apple headphones, and if I am using my phone, they automatically connect. Don't have to question it, don't have to go to Bluetooth and settings and connect and all that. They just connect. Technically, if I'm using my computer, it automatically connects to my computer. But sometimes it doesn't think I'm still using my computer because I'm not. Maybe I let my computer dim. So they reconnected up to what he was definitely using, which was the phone.
And I thought I was going crazy.
So you were hearing me probably talking to cats because I was down in the living room talking to Idabelle, who was giving me a headbutt and purring very loudly at me. And he's trying to talk to you all, and you can't hear him, but you could hear probably us talking.
So then I think that also was one of the things that threw me.
Yeah.
And then once I did it wrong one way,
That was it.
then it was like a domino effect of wrongness.
Hello, Jermaine says, what was the final number of beads for the first 2 rows?
None. There's 1 row.
1 row.
And there's 62 beads.
I thought it was 63. 62?
Don't, William, this not funny, bro. Not funny.
I wrote it down in my notes.
Cursed and said bad.
I wrote it down in my notes.
62, bro.
62.
Look at him, devil head.
I did think it was 63, but it's 62. I wrote it in my notes too, just in case.
And it's no ladder stitch. It's peyote stitch.
It looks like a framed portrait, says Amanda. Lena says, looks like 6, 8, and 11 because that's a 2-inch cab.
So there's 6s, there's 8s, but they look small for me for some reason. That they're 8s. They say they're 8s. They for some reason look small to me. The periwinkle ones.
He thinks they're mislabeled.
But they look like 10s to me. But I don't know.
I don't know. I labeled them however they would have come in.
But you know what? I was comparing different companies, so maybe that's also it too. Because the Toho ones may be slightly larger. These are Mayuki, except for the vintage ones, and then those are
whatever they are.
11-ish. Some are big, some are small.
So that's that. And I think all those are listed in the description of the item too. So if you go and check that out, if you're wondering, I'm pretty sure I put all the sizing in there for that. Let me just check. Redux If you search Redux Wooden, all those things should come up. And yes, all the sizes listed there. Although they were listed, I think we changed it because he thought that they were 10, 6 and 10. So we changed it in the listing to match what he believed would be the best ones.
I don't know. Maybe my eyes are off.
But yeah, so there it is. All
Also,
right.
you don't necessarily have to use those beads if you want to use different beads.
Yep. You can use whatever beads you want.
If you have your own beads, then use those.
Yep. All right.
But also, we like to pay our mortgage. So.
Yeah, we do. Paying the mortgage is good.
Preferably on time.
Paying the car so we can keep coming here back and forth.
Right?
That's a good thing. So yeah, let's see here. We have a show to go to. So let's take a look at these African beads. Let's get started, y'all. Hopefully you like these. If you're just joining us, let's go over this again really quickly. These are not your cheap, normal 25-cent, 50-cent African beads. If you're watching this show for that, that's not what these are. These are going to be more expensive. These are older, vintage, antique. These are nice beads. These are beads that we have cut down from strands that may cost you $200 to $400 a strand, and we've cut them down into smaller bits for you all and combined them into kind of either color coordinated or pattern coordinated kind of beads. So don't, if you're here looking, we try to please everybody. And we have cut these down into smaller chunks. We've also given you exceptionally good pricing on these. These are from Andrew's personal collection. He's decided to let it go. He is not trying to charge top dollar that we could get for some of these. We're just trying to make some money here and make some people out there happy. We want you all to be happy. So you're going to get really good deals on these, especially for their age and the vintage that they are. All right. So if you do want other African beads, we have more modern African bead strands. We have done many live shows on more African bead strands, and those are on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page. You can go back and look at some of our other videos that we've done, African bead, African strand sales, and you can still try claiming those because some of those we may still have. But you can get an idea of some of the more modern stuff that we have as well. But these are old. These are the first time we're ever showing any of this stuff anywhere. We have not shown it in our live shows. We have not shown these beads in our store. And they're not all beads. We have some other items too. None of this has been seen by our people before. So these are all new to everybody. So let's get started. All right.
If you're collectors, you might recognize these.
Yeah, if you collect African beads, like really collect.
And if you have beads of the world, you can like follow along and play Name That Bead.
There you go. Okay, let's get this situated here. All right. There's our penny.
I hope you all like these.
Right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we hope you like them. And like I said, they're not all beads because we're going to start the first one with a necklace.
I only have one.
We only have one of these. This is a cowrie shell beaded choker, pretty much. And it uses the actual shell as the toggle. What am I doing? I'm doing it the wrong way. It goes this way. And they are beaded on.
Cowrie shells are supposed to be good luck and to be protective. And then some people said that they were at one point used as a form of currency.
I'm gonna move this up a little bit because I'm a little too close for my comfort. So this is AF1. So let me put the banner up. To purchase from this video, take down each lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. Just put in the subject line, hit send. You don't need a body of your email. And of course, if you like what we do, please hit share, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Because even if you can't buy from us, you can support our small business by following and sharing and helping other people find us as well. All right. So this is a choker. AF1, $32 only.
Did you measure how long that is?
Let me measure how long it is.
So in case their necks are different.
Mm-hmm.
So from tip to tail.
About 15 inches.
Let me see. So you gotta have a small knot. But you could also put extender chain.
Yep. Neen Sculpture, how are these pieces sourced?
From all over. So if you're not familiar with our business, then we've had our store for 12, going on 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a lot of different friends in the industry that we work with to find things.
And Andrew's been doing this a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I've been in the professional jewelry making business for over 20 now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we go to one of my favorite shows in Tucson is African Village. So we go to Tucson usually once a year and find stuff there.
Yep. We
And
have
then
specific vendors that we deal with year in, year out.
some of them we see at other places, and sometimes I've bought out the back of a truck. So, and then some of the items, like the non-bead things, are fair trade items. So we work with different women's collectives all over the world, and some of the bags are supposedly made in women's collectives. So, and if you want the history of trade beads, that's a long conversation.
Right. Now these are hand carved
Of a nut.
of a nut, and you can see each one of these has 2 holes through it. So you can use them to string things from these. I'm not sure exactly what nut.
I don't know.
But these are hand carved out of a nut. I do know that.
I looked online, and there was one that says, what was that? An olive nut.
The olive nut, but those
It's
looked
not the same thing.
No, those look, the olive nut's more waxy looking.
It looks similar, but it's different.
Yeah. But there you go. AF12. They're super duper light. Hand carved little boats. And you get a set of 4 of those.
They make little talismans.
Yeah.
I like that flavor.
Who doesn't? Oh, my mom joined in over on Instagram. My mom's over on Instagram.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy. So we're going to have a number of these little lots. More of these hand-carved nut beads. And these also have 2 holes, depending on how you want to use them. There's a hole up here and a hole there. And again, so these are all from Andrew's personal collection that he's collected over the years, things that he has had. These have never been in our store before. We've never sold these online before. We've never even shown these online because they were, again, from his personal collection.
And then I do a lot of, we buy out estates, and I go to different warehouses, and I shimmied underneath garage doors and climbed on top of very precarious cardboard boxes that look like they're about to give up the ghost. So,
Right.
Yeah, we go on bead adventures.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes you actually get cool things, sometimes you don't. One lady once told me she had enough beads to open a bead store, and I was super excited.
We hear that a lot, by the way.
And so I got there, and I had to go down into the creepy basement. And when I say creepy basement, there were like, there. You know how it's like dimly lit and kind of moist, and there was like some sounds happening, and their house was not how you call a showcase ready. And so I had to like climb over stuff. And she had one little toolbox of beads. I was like, that's not gonna, I can guarantee you that maybe you about an hour in operation right here. The bead store is not gonna last long. So that was an adventure. I drove out to Ohio for that.
Suzanne is back. Hello, hello. We just started the show with these hand-carved nut beads. And this one is a little different. So this one has the little boats, but it also has a fish. One little fish in there. $12 for the lot. AF5. So a little bit of everything tonight.
I hope y'all like these because I was going to keep those for my own particular use.
AF3 and AF5 are now sold out.
Oh, thank you.
Like I said, we'll try and keep you updated as much as we can on what sells out so that if you do claim something, you might know that you claimed that and just assume maybe you got it. We don't ever tell on air who got what.
Sometimes we'll say there's multiple claims for something.
Yeah.
We're not going to name it.
No, we don't name it because that gets people in trouble sometimes.
That's nobody's business but their own.
Right. You want to share that you got something, you share, please. We're happy to see your shares once you receive your package.
Yeah, unboxing video away.
Right?
Yeah, back in the day, African Village, and they call it African Art Village, but a lot of the people, they've been calling it African Village for so long. And one of the first times I went, which was probably 20 years ago or more, I can't remember now, one of the vendors, so I should also mention we're vegetarians now. At the time, I could eat anything back in the day. And so they had this mysterious like soup, like this cauldron, and everybody was eating. And so they offered us a plate. And then they brought us this tiny little mint tea in these tiny little crystal glasses. And we all sat on the floor and ate. And we're drinking this mint tea. And it was really a cool experience.
Nice. Okay, now we're moving away from those into some of the beads from the strands that we've broken up that were like $200, $300, $400 strands. We broke these down into lots of approximately 10 beads each for y'all at $26. So that breaks down, quick math, $2.60 a bead, which for the age of these beads is a really good deal.
And then, so they're all over the place. And what I recommend is there's a lot of really wonderful books about trade beads. Is to pick one of those up, and then you will get all the information and more on the different kinds. Because they have ones that's called wound beads, which a lot of people call wound beads, which doesn't sound appealing, but It's actually wound, like they wound the glass around the bead.
AF6 has sold out.
And there's all different kinds. And there's chevron beads.
We're gonna have some nice chevron beads in here.
And some of them are stripe beads that were intended to be chevron beads.
So we're gonna have a lot of these, but I'm gonna try and show you each little bead in each one so that you can see what you might be getting or what you will be getting, because there's only one of each of these. So AF7, $26 for those beads.
So these ones are got nice ample holes. If you wanted to put one on a thing of leather and make a necklace, call it a day, done.
Right.
If you want to incorporate into more stuff, you could definitely do that. And they all kind of go together. We try to be mindful about that.
Yeah, we tried to be very mindful of making kind of coordinating sets as much as we could. Again, these are from mixed strands. Generally, the strands retail anywhere from $200 to $400 or more.
And then, so some of them are from the 1700s. Some of them are from newer. It just depends.
Gesundheit. Let's move on to AF8. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for joining us today. We're doing African trade beads, African cultural things. Got lots of good stuff tonight.
And so these ones are a beautiful shade of green. It's kind of a bluish green. Some of the striped ones are really fun. Again, some of these are really old. So some of the beads have little chips and dings. And
yeah, they have traveled the world.
They've traveled the world between different continents. And some of them were excavated in Mali. In Mali? Yeah.
That's
so
AF8, everybody, for those green. First come, first serve. Send us an email, AF8 in the subject line, to info@allegorygallery.com if you'd like to claim.
And so these are more collector items. You know,
yeah.
These aren't the contemporary. Here's some more green ones. Is that the that's a watermelon chevron bead. That bead by itself should be maybe $10, $12 on the cheap.
And it has a chip in it. And it's still it's still an expensive bead on its own. But that's why we're giving you good deals on these.
I mean, if that's just the way they are.
Yeah, they're all.
I think it adds character.
It certainly adds character. It adds history to all these.
Who doesn't have, unless you like a celebrity and have your body like slathered in unctuous creams and lasered all to get out? Who doesn't have a scar or nick or something?
And it's not because these were just mistreated by somebody. These were shipped all over. They were.
And you know what? I'm just gonna tell it. They're not how you call delicate when you at that market. They are just slinging the $100, $200 strands around like it's nothing.
Because they know people buy these. Collectors buy these. So,
it's different when it's your own stuff.
Yeah.
Like I got horrified. I was like, "You want me help? I'll gently place it in the box."
Right. Boy, we put a lot of greens together. Got another green lot for y'all.
They're kind of like I do it sometimes when I'm sorting stuff out, I do it by like sight. And so like when I'm picking things, I'll pick like a colorway and then kind of stick to it. So there's some old green ones. One of those is a Hebron bead.
Look at that one.
And so there's lots of lovely things. There's some Millefiori time. Is that little one the Millefiori one? Just a little baby one.
Look at that. Have you seen one like that before? I've not. And we see a lot of African beads because we sell contemporary ones, but like this pattern, I've never seen this pattern before.
I have.
Of course, you had it. It was
Right.
yours. All right, so that's AF10, everybody. AF10. How are you enjoying these? AF10 is sold, everybody. How are you all enjoying these? The greens are so vibrant, says Donna. Yeah, for being hundreds and hundreds of years old. Good color there, right? Suzanne's loving this. Good. Glad you are. And I know some people may be trying to wait to the end to claim, but if you see something you really like, hopefully you will grab them. AF11. I like these ones. These ones, if you're mixing them with like bone or natural beads, they've got this beautiful color. Look at that one. I like that one a lot. Very enjoyable, says Susan. Thank you. Suzanne asked, does the green color have a special meaning?
I'm sure it does.
He's like, I'm sure it does. Look at that one. Sally says, I love African trade beads, and these are really nice. Yeah, these are old, hundreds of years old. These are not contemporary, modern. Like Andrew said, some of these are from the 1700s, possibly older. We've broken these down. These were all in big strands that retail for upwards of $400. We figured it could be a very short show if anyone wanted to buy a $400 strand from us. We had a few of them, but we figured it would be best that more people could enjoy these, and you could buy them, by the set of 10. I'm trying to show you each one so you know what you're getting. This is AF11. AF11. Somebody claimed AF26. If you just tried to claim something, check your email. 26 is the price. Make sure you're claiming the lot number. Sally says, I don't usually see the pale color of AF11. These kind? No. That's more rare, especially in contemporary ones. We often see like the yellow sandcast or the greens and the reds, blues, but this kind of pale bone kind of ivory color, no. So this one has not been claimed yet. I think someone may have tried to claim it. So check your email, what you sent, if you just sent us an email on those. Because I don't want you to get the wrong one. Because you will get AF26, but we're not there yet.
Do you want to do a giveaway?
Yeah.
I don't know
Whoop.
if this is everybody's flavor.
Donna says, I got to hold and drool over a $2,000 strand of very old chevron beads at a gem and mineral show. They were spectacular.
There's the prize.
And AF11 has been claimed. Okay, so here's the prize. What's the question?
Let's see.
So here's the prize. Tell them what the prize is.
It's African burnt bone, dyed bone. They do like a batik resist. And that is their bone.
Their bone.
And
Sally said, "Whoever wanted AF11 better hurry because I'm really tempted." Somebody did grab it. Somebody did grab it.
all right.
Okay, so that's the prize.
What should be the question?
I don't know. You want to do a giveaway? I thought you had one in mind.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm just wanting to be nice.
He just wants to give stuff away.
Correct. And to thank people for watching.
Yeah, of course.
'Cause sometimes these selling videos, you know, if you're on a budget and you don't have very much money or whatever, they can be kind of, you know, not that fun.
Mm-hmm.
So this is to keep people interested. Let's see. Did I say the name of the place that I got the scholarship to? I think I did.
You did. You did.
All right. The first person who correctly answers that we see of the place that I want a scholarship to will win.
Okay. Donna says it was so cool and the vendor was so nice.
I think for one thing, you're assuming that I'm white. I'm not white. There's a question about what are your thoughts on the ethics of reselling African cultural items as a white-bodied person. I think that if there's a love and appreciation for something, we should celebrate those things. At no point has any of the vendors that we've worked with shared any kind of problems with people who are white or Caucasian purchasing those things. So if there's not a problem and it helps them make money, then why not?
Yeah, we have a great appreciation for all cultures and all beads and all things made by hand. And that's who we are and that's what we do.
So I think as long as you celebrate them and you acknowledge their history and you have a love and appreciation for it, then I think that's really important. I think if you're using it as a way to exploit people and to you know, if I started you know, like doing my hair a certain way or wearing certain things that are specifically a part of that culture, then I think that is maybe not so great. You know, but I also think that it's one of those things where it's tricky. You know, it's kind of like what they say is like porn. It's like you know it when you see it. And so when cultural appropriation comes, then you kind of have to think about that as, you know, you have to think about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So otherwise, we have a very limited world that we can be participating in. And a lot of companies and businesses would go out of business. And you would be hurting the people who you're supposedly trying to help.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not an easy answer at all.
No, but we always try and have the most respect for what we do and the people we work with. We work with vendors many times over and over, support families, and they trust in us to continue purchasing from them, to continue their livelihood.
So, and if people have more specific questions, then we can talk about that. But in case you're curious. Anyways, yep. Did anybody win?
Nobody. Nobody remembered. Amy says appreciation, not appropriation.
Nobody guessed.
Donna says missed that, or Marianne said missed that. Donna said same. And Amy said also, if you don't respect the people, you shouldn't be allowed to enjoy their delicious foods, right?
I mean, then no peanut butter for anybody, no cotton for people, no algebra.
Cheryl says bad memory here, but congrats, Andrew. You might have to ask another question.
Okay, let's do another question. How long has our store been in business?
Sally said somewhere in Baltimore, but that isn't much of an answer.
No,
That
that's
wasn't
not
even
it.
it wasn't even that. Yep. Sandra says 13 years.
Almost.
That's close. It's close.
Oh wow.
It's very close. But not quite. We're not quite to 13 yet. Not quite to 13 yet. Marianne, 12 plus years. 12 plus years. That's right. That's right. So Marianne wins.
All right, write it down.
Write it down. And I know you got some stuff, so you got another package.
Where'd those little bags go?
I don't know.
They got raptured.
Oh, they're underneath, I think, that one. All right.
Okay, moving on.
Da, 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 da. Where are we at? 12. Jen says, get over to the Insta. We're on the Insta. No one guessed it right before the other ones did.
We got both eyes open.
We do. Jen said, I said 13, then 12. Your 12 never came through, Jen. Maybe you got to look. 13 only came through. Maybe you didn't hit enter.
We know Jen. If you know
Yeah, we can joke with Jen.
Um,
And if she really loves those, we might be able to find some more for you.
You might have something for you waiting for you when you do the filming.
Right. AF12, everybody. AF12.
Now these ones, there's a lot of older beads in these pieces. Also, fun fact, a lot of these beads were made by white people.
It is true. That's the part of the African beads.
The trade beads.
The trade beads that a lot of people don't. People think the trade beads came from Africa.
But they were traded
They did not.
in Africa.
They were created in Italy oftentimes, traded to Africa in such quantities that they became known as African beads in a lot of cases.
And then in some places they started manufacturing.
Yeah, they started making them then there.
But there is a long history of African body adornment and beadwork. And so it's not just, and that goes back to ancient Egypt.
Yep.
But that we're talking about 2,000 years of history.
The world is a lovely mixed place.
And sometimes not as nice,
Yeah, well, we're trying to be do the nice way. But
there's a whole lot of
reasons these beads were traded too.
Yeah. So there's whole things about sugar and slavery and the impact of modernization of tools and techniques.
AF12 is sold, everybody.
So just so y'all know.
Yeah, we just try to be mindful, know as much as we can about it, and appreciate both the beads themselves and the cultures they come from.
There's a wonderful book called Black Gold. I definitely recommend it. And it talks more about African adornment and also other stuff.
These are these kind of, they have the clay color, I'd say clay color. That brownish, rusty red color with some blues and blacks and whites. And some yellow in that one. And as Andrew said, these also are fairly large holes. So if you just wanted to put one bead on a piece of leather, a lot of people are doing the minimal style right now. But really, as we said, these are great collector's items. They've been in Andrew's collection for quite a while. And you want to, you know, use them as you will use them, but they are collector age. AF13, $26. Jen says, I concede, I don't need them. Okay, Jen. Turning down beads? What? Who does that? AF12, 14. We're on 14, everybody. AF14. Here we go.
Ooh.
I know, these kind of...
These chevron bead in there.
That one or that one? Which one?
There's a Millefiori.
Suzanne asks how many lots. We have a total of 50 different lots tonight.
But it's not all just...
It's not all these. These are going to go through about 32 or so. So from 14 to about 32, we're going to do beads like this, and then we're going to move into some other things and different stuff. Look at those. Look at that glow. Look at how bright that blue is. And then you get these. And AF14 has already sold before I'm even done showing it. So this one is sold. I'm going to finish showing you so the person who got it can see it all. But somebody knew what they were getting with those chevrons.
Oh, good. Somebody got them?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That one's sold already.
I like it when people are connected to the stuff we share.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So did y'all share your favorite green thing you made?
There were a lot of people sharing the green thing for the AG Live Challenge.
I may go through and give a prize.
Ooh.
You may get a little something, something.
Maybe we should do another one then.
For what?
Another live challenge.
Today?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. How about post something you made using African trade beads or African beads?
There we go. AG, let's put the band. Let's do this like the real way. Like, okay, AG Live Challenge. So what we're talking about here is on some of our live shows, we have now started, second day, we have now started issuing an AG Live Challenge. And what that means is we want to see what you have made or can make using whatever material or whatever thing we challenge you about. I love that. I keep showing this bead because I love it so much. And so yesterday was a simple challenge to use something green in your work. And you can post that on our Facebook group, Allegory Gallery Design Challenges on Facebook, if you're on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, please use the tag, the hashtag AG Live Challenge wherever you post, and we will take a look at them all as much as we can everywhere. So today's AG Live Challenge, Allegory Gallery Live Challenge, is to use African beads, any type of African beads, in a project, or show one you've already used them in. It's okay to use past projects for the AG Live Challenge, and post them in the group or on your timeline somewhere, and we will check it out. This is AF15, $26. Look at all these. I love these ones. I love this color. I love these beads. There we go. AF15. Cheryl says, challenge accepted.
Oh, good. I always like when people have fun with the things we do.
Yeah. It's good to have fun with stuff, right? Good to have fun with stuff. All right. Look at these ones. These are some of my favorites. I love stripes. I love these stripy old African beads. Look at these. This is AF16, $26 for the lot of 10. If you know what you're looking at, you know that's a good deal, right? Donna says, fixing to post one now. I love African beads. Awesome. Look at that one. Clear center with the black and that kind of rusty red color and white on the outside. That chevron. Beautiful beads. AF16, $26.
Oh, good. Did anybody clean that one?
No, surprisingly. It's one of my
That's a really
favorites.
beautiful lot.
One of my favorites. All right, let me take down the AF Live challenge. That talk is over for now. Studio Shelly. Shelly joined us on Instagram. Thank you for joining us over there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Here we go. Check that out. Aren't those cool? Andrew standing over.
I was looking at the Instagram comments. I can't see.
Oh, he's like standing over my shoulder, squinting. I'm like, what? What is
'Cause
this
I can't
menacing,
see.
this menacing look over my shoulder? So what am I
can't see
doing
the
wrong?
Size 4 font on your laptop. These are really fun.
Yeah, they are.
I love that. So with this kind of curated collection that we put together for you, there's black and yellow and a little bit of red.
Mm-hmm.
So it could go with a lot of different things. If you wanted to play up in this color family, you could pull out some of the red beads and kind of. I know we had in our CB show we had some white hearts, some red white hearts,
Mm-hmm.
and those would look really well. Look good with those.
This one has been claimed, everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much. AF17 is now claimed.
And if you go over to places like Etsy, you can see people selling trade beads, kind of like what we're doing, for twice as much.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I think y'all are getting a good deal.
very good deal. And again, you can get modern trade beads more inexpensively, but this age, when you start looking at the kinds of timeline that you're looking at here, these are a really good deal.
You think that some of these are what they call the king bead.
Which one?
The one that has it looks like a hot cross bun.
Mm. Love, love, love these.
So, like, I'm making sure nothing's showing up that's not supposed to.
So there you go, everybody.
So if you want the whole strand,
And
I
that's
mean,
not even, yeah.
these are slightly larger, but like,
those.
maybe this one. This is a truly old one. So $240 if you buy the whole strand.
Yeah. So
I mean, you
we
know,
told you they're
relative.
$200 to $400 strands that we broke down for you. $26 for 10 beads. You're paying $2.60 a bead. So great, great deals. Making it easy for you to acquire some of these if you want them for your collection. We know that collecting beads, when you get into truly collectible things, sometimes you have to know the right people, or you have to, for one, you have to trust who you're buying from.
That's another thing, is there's a lot of times when things became popular. So it's not necessarily copying. Okay, so there's a lot, like we've been talking about with cultural appreciation. There's a lot of times when different ideas will migrate to certain areas. So, like some of the African beads were taken to Indonesia, and there's a strong glass making tradition already there with the Manique. And so a lot of their trade beads actually became very inspired by those. Like the Manique were trade beads amongst the islands in Indonesia. And then people brought over African trade beads, and then they tried to make their own versions of that. So there are different copies of that. And so you have to be careful, because I've seen where people will have like really cheap Indian beads. I'm not saying that cheap is bad, because you can make something nice with anything.
Right.
Well, almost
we
anything.
appreciate all price points.
But like so anyways, there are different places that will make things that resemble trade beads, but they're not actual trade beads. So you just have to be aware of that. Do you know which one's my favorite?
I bet I do. I love this batch, everybody.
This is a good one.
And this one,
that's the beloved.
I bet is Andrew. He had a hard time giving that one up.
If it doesn't sell, I'll just take that back.
Because
these ones also are cool.
Yeah, these are.
They're done with a core of like a bright yellow, and then there's like a carnelian kind of matte orange put on top.
You can see the cores there.
And so they kind of glow.
Oh, I love those. I love this. This is one of my favorite batches of the night. And I was like, these are little. Should we put another bead? Andrew's like, no, this one makes up that well worth the whole. He's like, that's worth the whole thing there. That makes the batch just dandy. Yes. And so I love that batch. I love those colors. I love those beads. I love how old these beads look. And you can see the age in them.
I also, here's another thing, is I think eventually as a jewelry maker, there is a really big pressure to commodify and make everything sellable.
Yep.
And, that's neat. We're in business. We understand that you have to do that. But at the same time, sometimes you get an appreciation for something, and you don't necessarily want to use those things.
Right.
Like a stamp collector,
Stamp collectors don't have to lick their stamps and use them.
No.
Coin collectors don't have to put them in the vending machine.
No. So you can collect them and just enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah.
Or make something for yourself. So I know there's a big pressure to resell stuff always, especially like one of my friends, her husband like rode her behind and was like, "When you gonna start selling stuff? When you gonna start selling stuff? When you gonna
Look
start
at
selling
that
stuff?"
one right there.
And she got kind of a paralysis to, you know, when you're like, it's a lot of work to have your own small business. So
Mhm.
so I think you know, sometimes you don't necessarily have to use everything that you get.
No. And which is another reason why we broke these down for you at $26. You know, that's a lot of money to some people and to a lot of people, but it's also a price point, I think, that you could collect these and not feel too guilty if you buy yourself a lot or two of them and don't feel like you want to use them.
Yeah. So
If
it's
you
not like
spend
if you buy a,
$400 on a strand,
then you have
I
to
mean,
get.
there are people in the world who, you know, have wonderful luck and wonderful lives that $400 on a strand of beads, and they don't have to feel like they need to sell that. But
Sometimes you're just rich in beads, William.
sometimes you are. But I am not one of those people generally. If I spend
Don't look around too hard.
if I spend $400 on a strand, I'd be like, maybe we should do something with that.
We were cleaning, and William, he gets, I think, maybe sometimes frustrated, and starts kind of like the sweep cleaning.
I do that a lot.
And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he's like, what you gonna do? Save that plastic can? And then I started digging. And I was like, look, this bag of rubies you almost yeeted into the nether realms.
I don't have patience for cleaning necessarily. Look at this heart though. Look at this heart design on this bead. By the way, this one AF20 has already sold. I'm just showing you.
One thing that how they make that is they put like a dot, and then they take a pick and then drag it through,
I made that in Hawaii like that.
and that's how that makes that.
It starts out as a round dot, and then you drag your hot pick through them, and it makes that heart design. Isn't that nice? They've been doing that for a long time, apparently.
And this called stringer, and so they not that.
I know, but this one.
So the stringer, what they do is they get the glass and they heat it up in the two rods, and they stick them together, and then they pull it apart, and it makes this thin little rod of glass. And then when that cools, you can almost when you've got the heat on it, you can almost draw with the little filament of glass, basically what it is.
Suzanne is a life is short, use the beads kind of person.
You can do that too.
That's right. Don't be afraid. Don't be
Whatever
afraid to use your beads. I say use the good china, use the good pens.
If you want to roll around on them greased up in Crisco, I'm not going to stop you. I may not be a part of this production.
Or ask for any videos or photos of it.
That's what you call a private time moment. Or
if you can make good money on the internet doing it,
I know.
Have at it.
Let us know how that works out. Because
Andrew's, I was gonna say Andrew's got a lot of beads to roll around, and Crisco's not too expensive.
I'll slather them up. This one person said they made $70,000 a month doing something on the internet.
I'm like, good for you.
And I was like, huh. I don't look like this like supermodel, so I don't know about that.
Look at this.
I could do some weird stuff.
He's like, I could do weird stuff.
Like somebody was saying, like, so when
I love this bead, everybody. Just pause for a moment and look at this bead. All right. All right, go ahead. Continue with
my filth talk.
It's not filth. Whatever people do. Okay. We're all positive about that.
So we're a couple of years ago, we're hanging out with another jeweler friend, and both of us is neck deep in student loans at that point. And she's like, I've explored a lot of avenues about how to pay off my student loans. And I was like what? And she's like, do you really want to know? And so then I was like, of course.
Of course.
I want to know all the things.
All the possibilities.
And because I'm of a curious nature, which has sometimes worked in my benefit and sometimes not. But anyway, she's like, there's this one lady who farts in bags and seals them up
Oh my
and
goodness.
sells them on the internet. And she actually made herself sick because she was eating all these foods to make herself
Pass
gassy.
gas.
And I was like, wow, that sounds uncomfortable. Like maybe, I don't know.
That's a lovely little lot there. AF21.
These are a lot of old ones.
Yeah.
Like this one. That's a
You
particularly
can
good one.
tell this one's an old one. Look at
This
that.
I got that Millefiore.
I love that one. Right. And this is like well held up. This held up well.
I think they call that Islamic period.
Beautiful. Amy says feet pics, LOL.
You know what? They took it to a new level. Now you can't just take pictures of your feet because I guess you can just like Google that. But they have people where they step on stuff now.
Oh.
Like you got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You squeeze that between your toes?
And then one of my friends, she's really important to have this like official high, like, she's important in the art jewelry world. And she's like, I can't do that because if I get caught, then I'm going to lose my job. And I said, you know what? You just put that fake tattoo on. Nobody's going to know.
I don't have a tattoo there. What are you talking about?
That's
Boy,
not
look
me.
at Andrew telling people how to get around the rules.
I know. I helped you. I helped liberate you from your financial debt. We'll talk all day about how you can figure out a way to live your best life.
If you're bold enough to do it, I guess, right?
I know.
Andrew hasn't done any of those yet.
No, I don't think people are going to pay me to see my feet.
You never know.
I don't know about that.
Look at these black and white, all black and white set.
That's a very particular flavor that you don't want that.
Marianne says, some things should not be done for money.
You know what? I taught this workshop in Tucson where I took a bunch of people around to go shopping and to do stuff. And I told them, I said, okay, there's going to be some prices y'all going to see and you're going to lose your mind. But let me tell you, don't spend it all on the first booth.
Right.
Hold a little bit back because you're going to have infinite sadness if you blow all your money down to the penny and then you go to the next booth and then you see something else.
Yeah.
Then it's not fun anymore. Then it becomes a little bit torture time. So, and I was like, we got 4 days, y'all. We going all 4 days. So
AF22, everybody.
And so after our workshop, we would go back to the house that we were renting, and we were talking about like photography and writing and stuff, and the class part of that. And so
Charlie says, I've been cooking and had to stop to giggle at the Crisco.
Well, were you using Crisco? He's like, I got some, I'll bring it over.
Right. Ooh.
What we got to do?
You like greens, everybody? Look at
watermelon, honey sugar up in here.
Look at that.
Not that. That's not the watermelon.
Woo, I know. I'm not there yet. I know.
He's working his way up.
I know.
You got to build excitement.
I know.
See, you'd be good at that.
Good at what? What exactly?
Build excitement. I'm like, here, go straight to the good stuff. They're all good, but anyway. So we were sitting around talking about stuff, and one of the things we were doing, we were building these shrines out of stuff that we found in the desert. Some of them were. So we would go to like antique stores and thrift stores and stuff. And the one woman, she's like, you know what? I heard, she's like, we went to that Savers earlier and they had panties. And she's like, I don't know about that. And she's a little bit sassy. And she's like, who is going to buy the panties at the thrift store? And then the one lady says, oh, really? I did not see those. And then they start talking. And she was like, you know what? I've seen this thing where people will have vending machines in Japan where they have the used panties in the vending machine and people will buy them for their own particular use.
Oh my goodness.
And she's like, you know what? We could do this and then we would have more money for beads tomorrow. I say, I applaud your ingenuity and your go-get-em entrepreneurship.
Right?
However, I don't think the money's gonna clear
In
for
time.
tomorrow. So plan that for Sunday.
Right? That's funny. Jermaine says, Andrew, you need to take your own advice to get out of debt.
I don't know. I need to do something. Have to come up with something unique and clever.
And here it is.
The
The
watermelon.
watermelon chevron.
I think of that song. That
Watermelon sugar high.
You know, because they only played that song that one summer. I
That's
used
it.
to drive back and forth to Contemporary Craft. That's the only song I play. I turn the channel on the radio. There it go again.
That bead's probably worth the whole lot right there.
Correct.
AF23, beautiful greens and all different shades of green. And AF23 is sold. Thank you. Somebody loves those chevrons.
Me too.
Those
Me
chevrons,
too.
they don't get past anybody out there.
Good. They know. If you see something, get it.
Right? All right. AF24 coming up. Ooh, who likes blue? We're into the blue phase now.
And now, if only
Look.
I were more bold. I'm not as bold as all that.
Maybe in your youth time,
Maybe.
in our wild and crazy youth.
Maybe. Nowadays, I'm on the board of a nonprofit. I doubt that they'd appreciate me farting in bags.
And selling them
You know, if I did it for art,
for
Then-
art's sake.
then maybe I could get away with it. I don't talk about the fleetingness of life or something.
Amy says, I've purchased mixed strands just for the few chevrons on them.
Correct.
We all do that, right?
You know, you also notice there's no opalescent beads.
Andrew's like, and you're not going to see any tonight either.
Because
Andrew kept those.
I said one for me, one for you.
One for me, about 60 for you. There weren't that many opalescent beads, but there were a few.
Yeah, those moon beads. If ever you want to like get me to do a crime, probably if you're like, I got some moon beads for you.
I got a whole strand of ancient moon beads.
What will you do?
What will you do for it,
You got
Andrew?
a shovel? I'll be like, okay.
This is AF24, and AF24 is sold. Look at those. I
Thank
love
you.
those ones.
I like this one.
It's a good one. You got a good one out there.
This one particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else. We went that one conversation. I can't talk about that on the internet because we're gonna get our channel revoked.
Marianne says, I appreciate the opportunity to just get a few of these. Thank you. We appreciate you trying to get a few of these.
Thank you. This is another good one.
Start with these little ones. Look at those. Those little babies.
I like the little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then these ones remind me of the Steelers. I can't help it.
Those almost look like portraits in there. Like that looks like somebody's face with hair. Like it's just so
Donny Osmond.
right. They look like little portrait. I mean, I can't see them. They're not actually anything, but
No, but it does look like it.
doesn't it look like it looked like a Brady Bunch? Yeah, it's so wild.
The Alice.
Yeah, it did.
Oh look, there's Sally Sue.
I know. This is AF25, everybody.
Yeah, so I love beads with a deep and abiding passion.
Mm-hmm.
I have beads from all over the world, and I will never stop collecting.
No.
There will never be a day when I don't appreciate beads. I can say that with confidence and assurity.
Right. See, and that's the thing is when you're working with us and buying from us, you know the things are coming from a place of love. Like we don't have to have a bead store, right?
No, we would probably make more money if we did.
Right. There's a lot of things in the world we could do that would probably, from our experience and and knowledge and skill, we could do and make a lot more money doing other things. But
You probably couldn't guess it from my stories, but I thought about becoming a teacher of the children.
I wanted to be a college professor, but
And there was a brief turning
we
point.
do love what we do.
There was a brief turning point. I got into that Teach America program.
Yeah, you did.
Right out of school. And because I wanted to get my MFA, and if you do that Teach America program, they'll pay you to get your MFA, but you have to teach at the same time. And I was maybe like 21. I was really like fresh off the boat of the school, and
with all that excitement about teaching and feel
I
good.
thought I was gonna be like Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds, or Hilary Swank in the one where they write about stuff. And so I was like, so they're like, well, you should know that we place you in schools that need the teachers. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna become like Michelle Pfeiffer, and then we'll have Henry Rose perfume later on, and then they're gonna have Tupac or LL Cool J singing the Gangster's Paradise. Anyway, so I go on this tour, and I was like, "Where's the kids?
Where are the kids?"
And they're like, "These are the kids." I was like, "They're almost my age."
Aren't these beautiful too? To interrupt the story.
And so some of the kids were, I guess they have to keep them until they're 18, and then they can release them. And so this was in Harlem before it was
nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's fancy now, but back in the day when I lived there, it was not fancy. It was becoming fancy, but it wasn't fancy yet. And so I went through the school. For one, there's a metal detector, and there's bars and grates on all the windows. I was like, oh. And so I get in there.
Like, this is what you meant by need teachers.
And so they're like, well, you have an art degree, so you can't teach anything except special ed. And I was like, I don't have any experience with that, right? Like, I can teach art because I have a degree in art. And they're like, well, we don't really need art teachers because you don't have funding for art teachers. So you have to teach either math, English, or special ed. And we only have, and I don't know if they have it, they call it something different now, but that's what they called it then, is special ed. And so they said, and we only have an opening for this program. So they took me on the tour, and the kids, they're like big. And they're like 2 feet taller than I was. And I was like, okay. And then this one kid, he's gonna like show off, and he took a razor blade out of his mouth. And it's like,
just had it in there.
I was like, how did you do that? That's that's
a skill.
That's like a circus.
And by the way, AF26 has sold. Thank you.
And then afterwards, I was kind of on the fence. And they said, so there has been an uptick in violence against teachers. So we recommend you take these these self-defense classes so that when something happens, you're able to take care of the situation and diffuse it. And I was like, and at this point, I was like 100 pounds and could barely stand up because I was tired from working 3 jobs. And I was like,
And they had a cage in there for you, right? Was that the one they had a cage for the teachers?
What is the cage?
Separate to separate you from the students?
I think the whole school is a cage.
Oh, okay.
maybe Alba, because she
Maybe
did
that was, yeah, that might have been her
She
story.
was in this one program where that if you're like bad as a teacher, they send you to this place, and then you're like, all you have to do is go on your phone all day.
Mm. Oh, I just meant to protect you from the students. I thought somebody.
When they had the violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't really want to get beat up every day, and then I'm this little brown, half Filipino, LGBTQIA up in here, and then I was like, I just know that this story is going to end up on the news, and not in my favor.
It's like, I'll apply for a scholarship instead if I want.
I was like, I guess that dream's done. That was a short-lived dream.
Right.
Also, you didn't get paid. Like they made it sound like you got paid a lot, but living in New York City is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And even back then, it's even more now. So I don't even know how people walk around with both kidneys. But so anyway, so I was like, I'll make more money at the restaurant, and I won't get my ass beat every day. So
this is AF27, everybody. We're almost done with these lots. So if you saw something you like and you haven't claimed yet, hopefully you've jotted it down, because we're going to 32 on these, and then we're going to start with some other things, I think.
So more fun life stories.
Life stories from Andrew. He's had quite the life.
That was even just barely started.
Oh no.
Nowadays, people are like, what'd you do? I didn't almost get jumped, hopefully. We live a more gentle pace of living now.
Yes, we do. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Oh, I'm going to stay at the Metal Museum.
Where? What?
When I'm at the conference.
When is that again?
The end of May. So coming up soon, beginning of May, I have a workshop at the Center for Metal Arts. And then something happens in the middle of May.
When are you teaching?
October.
That's October.
I have to do the next samples so they can sell the class.
Sell the class. AF28 is the slot, everybody.
In a few weeks.
And what is your class? Are you allowed to say? Did we say?
Explorations in color on metal.
Explorations of color on metal. Who wants to take that class, everybody?
It's going to be at Sawtooth. I got invited to teach.
Which is where?
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
There we go.
So I'm going to be down south, y'all.
Anybody want to come and learn from Andrew in a class? People that we don't get to see in person in real life?
I'm not going to share too many stories. We're just going to work hard.
He's going to put you to work. You want to learn exploration of color on metal? You got to be ready to really explore that color on metal.
Correct.
It's like,
it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
but
of
I
course.
Also, like some teachers, I love story time, but sometimes story time overtakes the technical time. And so I feel like you have to have a perfect balance.
Yes.
Of both story time
because otherwise, too much story time, and people like me, like, I like to do. And I start to like drift off. You get into a story too much, and then I'm like, but I want to do.
So
we're going to do.
Correct. William's going to come.
I'm going to come too and help.
You'll be my TA.
TA. Suzanne says, come to New Orleans to teach.
I would.
Who wants to pay Andrew to come to New Orleans to teach?
I'm not afraid. I don't know if Georgia has visiting instructors. If she has them.
Don't know. Ooh, look at this one, everybody.
There's a person I know who had a gallery there, but they don't have their gallery anymore. So
look at how beautiful that bead itself. Worth it. That's a different. That's different.
And I know somebody at Lafayette that I can maybe teach at, but
This
I
is
don't know.
AF 29 and $26 for the lot. All of these so far, these lots are $26. Getting near the end of these. If you didn't pick one out for yourself, make sure you do. Otherwise, they go
Did
back
you
into
say
Andrew's
those ones
collection.
Took up?
Huh?
Did you say the one got grabbed up?
They did not.
Mm,
I was surprised because that one bead in there,
the skunk eye?
yeah, but it's blue, like it's colored, gemmy.
Mm.
Like, look at that. I've never seen that before.
A rare find.
That is a rare find. Look at these. These are more Andrew calls them hot bun beads.
What is that?
Those hot bun beads.
That's king beads.
King beads.
Hot cross. That's that buns
Hot
that they
cross
make
bun.
on the bake off.
Yeah, they do.
We started watching Pottery Throwdown.
Oh, yeah. We found a place to stream Pottery Throwdown last year's and this year's because it's not come to the US yet.
I don't know what HBO did, but that was one of the only reasons why we had HBO.
Yeah.
And they don't show the stuff anymore. So.
No, but they have it on this one website. And I can't wait to tell the people in my pottery class because they have been waiting to see it. And they're like, if anyone finds out anywhere where we can watch it, let us know. And I found it. Somebody else mentioned it. I forget who mentioned where I heard it. And I was like, this actually works. And it does look like the site is a little bit, but it's fine. It works. Suzanne says hot cross buns for Good Friday. Now this one is a bunch of little beads. So you're going to get more than 10. But they're all these little ones. I'm not going to go through them all. But they're all like these.
I thought that's fun.
Yeah, you might just want the little ones.
Sometimes you want to Jabotron. Sometimes you want petite.
Right? So those are, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 of them. You get 20 of these little ones. AF31. 20 of the little ones for $26. So what, $1.30 each.
I think that's a good value.
That's a very good value. Sometimes we don't break it down the math in our head before we put these for sale, I think.
Well, I think also we want to give good deals to our people.
Yeah, we do. We like ya.
And if we get a good deal, we try to pass that on. Y'all know that.
This one is kind of the most mixy of the night. So you get the little ones in here, like these. And this is the last one of these lots. So we matched up pretty much what we could, and then the rest of these are what was like kind of left.
Oh, and I finished listening to The Prisoner's Throne.
How was that?
It's pretty good.
You said it was not as...
I think it might be the narrator.
The narrator.
So I don't know.
Just didn't grab you?
No, I didn't.
Usually you're like all about her books.
I still am all about her books, and I did listen to it in like 2 sittings, and that's like a 14-hour book.
It kept your attention then. Look at that one, everybody.
I love her writing.
How rare is that?
Fantasy.
How rare is that?
But I also I had to really like want with it. You know, there is a thing where when they say every minute detail, and he said every minute detail.
Oh.
And I thought I was like, did what?
Every minute detail.
So that was strike one.
When they mispronounce the words.
That was. I was like, maybe they say
Like,
that.
how
like
did that make it
somewhere
through the
else.
editing process?
And maybe it's like, you know how in the UK they say solder.
Solder? You think they say minute? Every minute detail? I don't think they do.
I don't know. Maybe that's like, I don't know.
Look
Where
at this little
Ben Letty's
Millefiori. Look at this little Millefiori. That's really, it's little, but it's so nice. It's got all the colors in there. You get this little ring bead. Look at
If
that.
she don't write another book, I'm gonna be in that world. I'm gonna be upset.
Did they cliffhang you?
Correct. They've been planted. Sometimes, you know, some authors they sprinkle these seeds of like plots, and then you're like, then they do the next book, and then you're like, what about that one?
What happened to that
I thought
piece?
that's what the book was gonna be about. And then they don't do that, then that makes me a little bit crazy. That's like, you know how sometimes Marvel they have these like extra scene credits
That don't go anywhere.
and then they never do anything. I was like, who's this dude? He's in the lab cooking something.
Okay, y'all. So that's all of those type of lots. So
Yeah,
if you
more
were,
lots.
yeah, there's more here to go. But if you, if you liked any of those and you're waiting to the end to see them all, now's the time to hit the send on your email because there aren't any more of those. All right, next up, coin purses, or I don't know, little
bead purses.
bead purses. Put your keys in them. Let me move this up a little bit because we're gonna need this up a little bit. So these coin purse, dry clean only, made in Ghana.
They're made from kente cloth, and it's cotton rayon. I think.
Rayon, yeah. So this is the first one.
And there's two that are kind of like that.
Yeah. So this is the first AF33, only $6, and that one's sold already. So thank you so much.
And they're lined too.
They are lined, nicely lined.
There is one. I thought about keeping it because sometimes when I travel, I bring tools and stuff, and sometimes those tools they poke me,
Mm-hmm.
and they cause the blood time. So it would be good to have a little carrying case.
So here's AF34. This one has a little bit more of the green on it, but it's similar. It's the same fabric as the other one, but it's done in a different place. And let me see if I can open what is it's catching. And you can see lined inside. So that's AF34, $6 only. These are some of the things we were thinking about putting in the store, and then we decided to close the store before we got them in there. So there you go. AF35 coming up is another one of these.
Aren't they charming?
They are very charming.
I think they go with the whole boho vibe, where there's a lot of texture and color.
There's the inner lining, color.
And like sometimes you don't want to bring a whole big thing.
They've got a little cord to hang on to. Carry that. But yeah, carry your little tools around, make a little bead kit in there.
Yeah, that'd be super cute. Put your little nippers, clippers.
Yeah, get those miniature ones, put them in there. You got a little bead kit to go. You use that for a lot of different things, right? AF35, $6.
Your go bag.
Your little bead and go bag. Man needs to recharge your phone. Charge that phone, Mary.
It's kind of windy.
It is getting very windy. The wind was supposed to happen, I think, last night, but it's happening now.
I hope it's just wind and not freezing ice nightmare time.
It's not supposed to go below freezing tonight.
Oh, good.
I don't think. So next up is AF36. Is this one?
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Morphin Power Rangers.
Power Rangers?
What's the blue one? Billy?
The Blue Ranger? I don't know. I was just slightly too old for the Power Rangers.
Yeah, me too.
But my somebody I knew, I don't know if it was one of my younger cousins would watch it, so I'd see it once in a while. They were enthralled with it, but
Yeah, I know some adult people who are like really into that.
I watched it a few times, but Dale says, how can we tell if you received our emails? You'll get an invoice tonight, but that's really the only way, other than,
Just after.
yeah, there's no way to,
He makes a spreadsheet and then he sends out invoices based on the spreadsheet, and then you get an invoice with all the different. You break it down by lots.
The lots are listed in the description portion of the invoice. There's a message portion, and I list the lots you got there, but the total is totaled once in the invoice, in the total of the invoice.
This that one that's somehow where you don't get stabbed to death.
Yeah, this is AF37. We got one of these. This is the largest one.
Be a good pencil case.
But email is email, so there's no real way to tell if, you know, and I'm not, I don't, like we said at the beginning, we do not tell people if you've won stuff on air, because some people really don't like that. They don't want people knowing, and we're not making a list of who we can and can't tell.
No way.
That would be too much.
I know, it's probably not the easiest way for everybody, but you know what? It's the easiest way for us.
It's easy for us. I mean, I would love for you to be able to claim in the comments and, you know, do all that, but that's an entirely separate online store.
We already have to keep our online store separate from our physical.
Yeah.
So if we didn't do a physical, we might consider that. But you know what? Sometimes that stuff is like $10,000 a year.
It's
just to
expensive
have the honor
sometimes to
of
have.
having it.
Yeah. Some people pay a lot for y'all to be able to claim in the comments. Let me just say,
some of them, they inflate their prices
so that they can afford to allow you to claim in the comments.
Because I saw one person, I go shopping, and I know how much they spent, and I saw how much they wrote, and I said, hey, you made a typo. There's too many zeros on this.
They're like, no, we don't charge like you, Andrew. We charge more.
That made it real awkward.
Right.
They're like, no, that's how much I charge. I was like, oh.
All right.
Wow.
This is a dang good price. AF38 is this long strand. Let me tell you about how long. Let's see if I can get it.
I think it's 36.
It probably is. I can't smush it down because of the way it bends. It's at 17 now, but I'm sure that is going to 18. So that's about a 34, 35, 36 inch strand of graduated disc beads made out of coconut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coconut graduated disc beads. AF38, $36. And that one has sold. And so has, boy, AF 33, 36, 37, and 38 have all sold.
Thank you so much.
My email must have been behind because it just loaded all those emails.
Somebody did that rapid fire.
Yeah, maybe. But it's multiple people, so. Okay, so that one is sold. Don't even have to show you anymore. Somebody knew that was a good deal when they grabbed it. This is a really cool one, too.
Oh, I like these. You know, I was very tempted to polish these up, but I figure I would leave it like this so that if you want them more polished, you can take a pro polishing pad and shine them up, make it kind of bright on the highlights.
These are wrapped metal,
And they're copper.
copper wrapped metal beads.
And
You get a whole.
Ghana, but a lot of the metal stuff comes from Ethiopia.
It's about a 30-inch strand right there. AF39. So these are still with their original, who knows how many year patina. But if you really wanted to shine them up, you could do that too. Aren't they cool?
I wonder if you could enamel those. If they're solid copper,
I don't know.
heat them up, and then till they're bright, orangey red, more orangey, almost yellow.
I just love how they,
Then dip it in the copper
like
or in the enamel.
it's copper wire spun around, turned into a bead. Like the ingenuity, just the thought process of we're gonna make these into beads. Like such a cool thing.
Yeah, if anybody's into enameling, I'm curious to see if these will enamel.
AF39 has sold. Thank you.
You have to clean the heck out of it, though.
Yeah, you'd have to really clean those to get the enamel to stick, huh?
One person says, "Oh, you don't have to clean your metal enamel." And I thought, okay, this person does not make that much stuff, and I probably know why.
Okay.
All right, these are super cool.
They're okay, so this is where we're saying this is the one lot tonight that we have multiples. And they're all going to be slightly different. They're all handmade, but they're similar enough we're offering them as multiples. This is AF40. And if you want more than one pair, they're 26 a pair, you can say AF40 times 2 in your subject line if you'd like. But they're these.
The gold-plated brass Fulani earrings.
Fulani earrings. And they come out like that. And they go back in like that. They're kind of tension held.
Now, some of the time, the ear wires are a little bit tricksy. So if you have like dainty ear holes,
Yeah.
then skip this because this is not for the faint of heart. I mean, they're not crazy out of the realm of possibility.
No, and they're pretty light. They're pretty light as well.
But if you have real small, like you just got your ear pierced at the Claire's, this may not be the first choice.
Right. So Fulani earrings, AF40.
They call them hoops.
$26 a pair.
And the thing is these are really beautiful fold forms. So even if you didn't use them as earrings, you could take your crimping pliers and crimp down that point of connection where it connects. You see where the ear wire kind of slots in.
Oh no.
You could close up that hole and make it tight, and then use it as a pendant. Like why if you don't wear earrings like this, you don't necessarily have to use this as an earring.
Yeah, you just crimp that down, make it tight, or wire wrap around it to keep it tight.
I mean, you could glue it. Nobody knows unless you tell them.
Right.
Or as one of my friends said, they chemically bonded.
Chemically instead of glue it.
You use the glue. And they said, yeah, but if you say chemically bonded, then it sounds fancier on your...
That's good. I like that.
And they're like, you know what? If it's good enough for an airplane, then it's good enough for the jewelry.
Right. Norma says, have to go. Catch the replay. The rest on replay. Good night. Good night, Norma. Thanks for hanging out. The Fulani earrings are gorgeous. I'm totally getting a pair to use as pendants, says Anne.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, we've sold some of these. We still got some left. AF40.
And if you're going to use that for a pendant, I have one where it kind of stuck a little bit. So if you say in the email that you're going to use them as a pendant, let us know, and I'll send you the one that's a little bit harder to undo.
Harder to open and close.
And then that'll make it so that pair of earrings doesn't go to waste.
Make someone crazy or go to waste.
I think those are so cool. I'm just smitten with it.
This price, Andrew. Andrew's giving you a dang good price.
Oh, should we do a giveaway before? Did we have one ready? Or did we do two?
We only did one.
Because I don't like to come up with questions.
Should I hold off on this?
Let's just do it.
Gonna do the giveaway. All right.
It's another kind of these bone ones, these batik bone ones.
Different
but
pattern.
Different pattern. And they're bone. So if you don't like bone, sorry. But I like it. Okay, the question is, what school are we going to be teaching at in October? William's going to be my TA. Name that school.
Name the school.
First person who puts it down correctly will win.
I'm looking at Instagram. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody want to win that? Anybody paying attention to our talk? No one yet. It's a long live. A lot of people have dropped off, gone to bed, I think.
It is.
We had up to like 30 people watching. And
No.
McMasters, no. Is this another one no one's going to get?
It's in Winston-Salem. Starts with an S.
Cricket, says Cheryl. I know. I know.
Also, if you didn't follow me on my personal thing, you may not know. Because I talked a lot about online already.
Yeah.
And we've talked about
We
it a
did
couple
mention it
times.
today. If you've been watching along today.
I know some
guess.
people don't like bone, so that could also
That
be
could
it.
also be. Okay. Either you don't like bone or we got to ask another question maybe.
I thought that was going to be a nice, easy one.
Okay. How about this? For those of you who follow us often, not Smithfield, says Suzanne. Okay, we're going to do a different question. Name all 5 of our cats. For those of you who follow us often, you should know this. Name all 5 of our cats. That's going to take a while for people to write. Give them some time. Unless y'all don't want the bone. Jermaine likes the bone, but am boneheaded. I'm not good at remembering things. I know some of you. Gertrude, Barnaby, Ida Bell, Tallulah, Gilbert. That's pretty close. Do we give it to Suzanne?
Yeah.
Suzanne, you got it.
Her true name
Andrew
is
and I go back
Gertie.
and forth on this. I've called her Gertrude. He's like, it's Gertie.
Her name Gertie.
Gertie. But yeah, Gertie, Barnaby, Ida Bell, Tallulah, Gilbert. Dale says, Gilbert is the only one I know. Gilbert's got a fan out there. Cheryl had gotten Tallulah, Barnaby, and Gilbert. Oh, and said Gertie and Ida Bell up above. You split it up. You may have gotten it if you didn't split it up.
Almost.
Almost, right? Okay. Okay. So back to
beads.
Back to beads.
The hour of power.
We have Hey, the hour of power is fading away.
The hour of 3 hours.
Yeah, the 3 hour power. AF41, Andrew gave you, like, he loves you all because you get this whole strand for $32. Let me show you.
No, there are contemporary ones on this one.
It's a mix.
But there are older beads in there too. So
There's some of those Molly Clay beads in there. Look at that. AF41. You got some older beads, you got some modern beads, you got a good mix of beads in there, all different kinds. Looks like some of those coconut beads in there. Suzanne says, you know I love the bone. I know. Bone beads. This is AF41, $32 for the whole strand. Look at that carnelian on there at the end. And Millie Fiore in there. Every time I look at these, I see new beads. Every time.
That's why I'm trying not to look too hard. Because then I'm like,
what did I price that at? I went crazy.
The fever overtook me. It was the day of March, a windy day.
A windy day.
And I succumbed to the ether and miasma.
All right, next up, AF42. So far, 41 didn't sell. I'm surprised. All right, AF42. Maybe because you know there are some other ones coming up like that, right? As we normally do. A number of these are more modern ones.
But there's some goodies.
There's some goodies in there.
I'd cut that one off for myself.
Right there.
My own particular usage.
Those two. Surprised you didn't.
Thought about it.
It says, but then I'd have to redo the whole strand. Those are one of those. What are those? The resin beads, right?
Let me see.
Is it?
No, this glass.
It's glass? Okay.
Phenolic.
Phenolic resin. That's not. Those are glass, he said. So this is AF42, only $28 for the whole strand. And that is a approximate 21, 22 inch strand. 21 or 22 inch strand. All right. This one I love because it's got green in it. AF43. AF43. It's got these clearish, milky beads. I love those. It's got some of that carnelian. And then you get down to some of these beautiful, look, it's got a skunk bead there, skunk eye bead. And it's got some of the beautiful green. Look at those. You don't see the plain green that much like that. It's usually decorated in some way or, you know, done with Millefiori, just plain.
No, this one is strung up to be a necklace, so I would definitely 100% restring it.
Yes. Don't use as is. At least we warn you, right? You do what you want, but we're gonna warn you. AF43, and that is done up as approximately a 20-inch necklace.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you wear it one time and then it's no more. You know, sometimes they make necklaces that are sold to tourists so that, you know,
Yeah.
When you visit, you make it.
Why not?
You can get it. But a lot of times, the thing is that they're stringing it up on like cotton thread.
Yeah, that's definitely a thread. You could see that.
So I would not trust that. No, this one's a nicer strand. It has some old beads on here.
AF44. Look at those. There's a little chevron on there. Old. It looks like an old chevron on there. This strand probably should have been more money. Andrew's like, don't tell me now.
Well, it's too late.
He said it is too late. We already posted it. Look at those. Look at those. The end. Oh, I love this strand. The blues, the greens, rich blues in there. The sandcast, chevron. I love these rondelles. Suzanne says, these beads make me happy. Me too. Look at those. That is a beautiful strand. $42, AF44, you get all of it. You get all of it. What do we have left? I can't even remember. 44, 45. Oh, these ones. AF45. $24. $24.
These are ceramic.
Look at those.
So, most people are familiar with Kazuri beads. These are akin to Kazuri beads, but they're not Kazuri beads.
Look at how brilliant those are. I love them. You get the whole strand for $24 with the big bead at the bottom.
So you get a lot on that. Usually we'd sell that onesie twosie in the store, but
Yeah. I mean, look at that. I'm getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 40. 40 for 45 beads for $24. It's like 50 cents a bead. We would sell those for more than that in the store, for sure. AF45.
and then they're nice neutrals.
Mm-hmm. AF46. If you like those ones, you might like these ones too.
And don't forget, if you today's AG Live Challenge. What's that? Is that what we're calling them? AG Live Challenge.
Yes, let me put it up. AG Live Challenge.
If you want to play in today's AG Live Challenge, head on over, preferably after the video.
Some people said they already posted.
Y'all quit.
I know.
That's good. And show something that you use or made using African beads, preferably from us.
Jermaine's asking, do you know how old 45 and 46 are?
Which one's 45?
This one.
I don't know. Probably from the 90s.
They're not the old. That's why the price is not with an extra zero.
These are relatively new. I guess that makes it still vintage, but
yeah, they're definitely still vintage.
But I would say 90s. Because when I acquired these were not, they did not say preserve these, but they were African ceramic. Now these, you have to be not timid.
Look at these.
I think they're so cool, but they are definitely large and in charge.
And these are ceramic, right?
They're ceramic. And I think the glaze is done using a type of tin glaze, which makes that kind of weird turquoisey blue color.
These are beautiful. AF47, $15. They're $3 a bead. You're getting a good deal with these.
Yeah, those are, you have to,
I mean, they're not for everyone.
you know,
You're not going to make these into earrings.
No, unless you're a fan of that Borneo style.
Yes.
But if you weigh your necklace out just right and do your counterbalances and stuff, you can make very large pieces of jewelry and not have it be uncomfortable.
Right.
Because sometimes if you put all the weight in the front and it like drags down, on the back of your neck there's a spot and it makes your head feel like it's heavier than it actually is. Didn't you have that? You follow some chiropractor or something, and she doesn't lower her head.
Yeah, she never she never extends her head past like her shoulders. Like she doesn't tilt her head down because it adds weight. So anytime she needs to look down, she either just tilts her head down or she like actually stoops down.
So
She never puts her head out over like outside of her body line.
I do that every day.
Every day, all the time.
I'm gonna
But your head weighs up to twice as much. I think they said twice as much tension on your neck if you do, which I'm doing it right now, looking over this camera. But you're supposed to keep your neck in line.
So with that being said, so if you make a piece of jewelry that's real heavy, don't put all the action in the front or in the back. Kind of space it out and evenly distribute the weight so that it's not all hanging forward, because then it feels like it's twice as heavy.
Mm-hmm. These are cool ones.
Aren't those neat?
This is AF49, $15 each on these. These are a little bit smaller than the big ones.
You know what? These also remind me of the baskets. So when you go to African Village, or the African Art Village in Tucson, one of the things you can buy is these woven baskets, and they're really amazing, and they collapse down, and they're really sturdy, and they're really great. And these kind of have that vibe of like, don't they look like they could have been woven?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the glazing.
It's so cool. All right, and the last one, y'all. Last lot for this evening. Coming up. AF African Beads number 50. Number 50. $15.
Oh, I see it. Some folks already did add their thing.
Yeah, I told you they said they were.
Holy smokes, they're quick.
So this is AF50. And remember, the AG Live Challenge for today, until the next live challenge, is to put something up that has African beads in it in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group on Facebook. And yesterday's live challenge was to put something that has something green in it up. So you can still do that one too. But we've moved on to the second live challenge of the week. All right, let me flip this camera around real quick. We'll say a quick goodbye, see how you like that, check in with y'all real quick, and then we're going to go. Hello, everybody. Hello again. How are you all? Those few people who've made it all the way to the end of this 3-hour live, thank you for hanging out with us. And hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully you grab some goodies. There are still some things left. So if you saw something you thought about and wanted to wait, you've seen it all now. All right, you've seen it all. So thank you for tuning in.
I don't. Are we gonna do? Do you want to do more African tomorrow, or
What are
do you
y'all
think
feeling
that-
like? Andrew still has more if you want, or we can do something else tomorrow.
I also have artifacts, so but I have to dig for those, so maybe not.
Yeah,
those.
maybe not those.
I don't know. We might do a different part of the world. What do you think about that?
We'll see what we get up to tomorrow. Did you like this though? Do you like these kind of things? These more collector-ish kind of things? Suzanne says, you know I like these. I like them too. And I hope you all did. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send an email. Marianne says, have a great night, everyone. Need to sleep. Yeah, some of y'all, I know. Me too. I'm sleepy. Andrew's really sleepy. We're going to get going. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and day tomorrow. And we'll see you back here around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow evening. All right, everybody. Well, at least Andrew will. I'll be at pottery class. All right. Have a great one, everybody.
Maybe we're gonna do something. I don't know.
Bye now.
See ya.